Power. Speed. Technique. His talent, what he can do, I think it was just a matter of time that he grew up and played in the best European clubs. Today, he is showing everyone that he is the best player in the world. This commendation from Zinedine Zidane says a lot about the phenomenon that was Ronaldo, an all-around striker with extraordinary technique. His dazzling runs were the stuff of dreams. The man nicknamed R9 has lifted some of the biggest trophies during his 18 years on the football pitch. A look back at the legendary career of El Fenomeno. Born on September 22, 1976, in Rio de Janeiro, Ronaldo Luis Nazario de Lima, also known as Ronaldo, fell in love with football at the age of 4 when he received a football for Christmas. Inseparable from his new gift, he trains day and night to follow in the footsteps of his idol, Zico. In 1991, he was spotted by the club São Cristóvão in the suburbs of Rio. His talent on the ball was already undeniable. After a promising start, Ronaldo moved to the southeast of the country, only to discover top-level football with Cruzeiro 2 years later at the age of 16. For less than 25,000 euros, the directors have just unknowingly bought themselves a golden egg goose. Despite his age, the young nugget exploded the charts in his first season. He scored 20 goals and already won his first trophy, which he carefully put away in his cupboard, the Brazilian Cup, the first in the club's history. The youngster was impressive with his maturity and his monstrous physique, and naturally, the doors of the Seleção were not long in opening. It was 1994. He had another 20-plus goal season and was one of the 22 Brazilians who won the 1994 World Cup. The legend is on the run. Brazil soon seemed too small for R9, and when he returned from the World Cup, he signed with PSV Eindhoven for 5 million euros. In the Netherlands, Ronaldo confirmed the expectations and made a great start. For 2 years, he gave Europe a taste of his talent. Too fast and too technical for his opponents, he became a formidable striker in front of the net. With PSV, he finished top scorer in the league in 1995 and lifted the Dutch Cup the following year. In short, his adaptation to the old continent is going well, except for one detail. A year after his arrival, his progress was stopped short by a knee injury that forced him to spend most of the season away from the field. His physical problems worried the Dutch management. The Brazilian number 9 is no longer a priority for PSV. Worse, his relationship with his coach, Dick Advocaat, is becoming increasingly strained. In search of a new challenge, he decided to pack his bags and fly to Spain. In the summer of 1996, he joined Pep Guardiola, Luis Figo, and Laurent Blanc at Barcelona to form a dream team. Before too long, Ronaldo fever was spreading in Catalonia. In his first game against Atletico Madrid, R9 showed all his power and composure in front of the goal. His thunderous debut was just a glimpse of the masterful season he was to have with Barca. Despite being the top scorer in La Liga, he finished second in the league, just 2 points behind Real Madrid, a failure that would be short-lived. On May 14, 1997, he played against Paris Saint-Germain in the Cup Winners' Cup final. After a hard-fought match, Ronaldo gave Barca victory from the penalty spot. Europe was conquered, but a few months later, his future in Catalonia took a turn for the worse. Recruited for 18 million euros, negotiations for a salary increase are running out of steam. Europe's best clubs were working behind the scenes to secure the services of the young star. In the end, it was Inter Milan who won the bid. The Lombardy club did not hesitate for a second to break the release clause of the Brazilian genius. Barca did not know it yet, but they had just said goodbye to the future Ballon d'Or winner. After his stratospheric season in Spain, it didn't take long for him to win over the hearts of the Nerazzurri fans. On his return from the Copa America, which he won by being voted best player, he landed in Italy to write a new chapter in his career. It took him only 3 games to score the first of his 34 goals for Inter in the 1997-98 season. Alongside Yuri Djorkaeff, Diego Simeone, and Alvaro Recoba, he dominated the European scene once again, winning the UEFA Cup against Lazio. Decisive in the final, he definitely earned the nickname of Il Fenomeno. At 21, he became the youngest winner and the first Brazilian to lift the trophy. A few years later, other great names such as Rivaldo, Ronaldinho, and Kaká would join him on the list. In France, Ronaldo brings the powder to bear to get the Seleção to the Stade de France on July 12th in the final between France and Brazil, Zinedine Zidane versus Ronaldo. Unfortunately, this long-awaited encounter does not take place. Although he was present on the pitch, R9 was ill, victim of convulsions a few hours before the match. He was announced as being out of commission before finally taking his place on the pitch. Phantomatic, he clearly wasn't at his best. Questions about R9's health caused a stir, mobilizing politicians as well. A parliamentary committee of inquiry was set up to investigate his contact with Nike, which forced him to play the match despite his physical condition. But the mystery remains. The next 2 seasons were quite different for the football prodigy. Knee injuries increasingly handicapped him. On May 18, 2000, Ronaldo made his return to the pitch after a 6-month break. A few minutes after he entered the pitch, the dreaded drama ensued. After a stunt run, he collapses. It's that darn knee again. Away from the green rectangle, he had to resign himself to staying on the sidelines for over a year and a half. When he returned, his weight and his knees made people cringe. Less sharp and especially much slower than before, R9 had to reinvent himself to stay on top. But just when no one thought he would be back to his best, he silenced all the critics with a triumphant return to the 2002 World Cup. In Japan and South Korea, Brazil presented themselves with a dream team: Ronaldo, Ronaldinho, Roberto Carlos, Cafu, and Rivaldo. The Inter-striker stepped on his opponents and did what he does best: stringing pearls together. He scored in every game and helped the Seleção qualify for the semifinals against Turkey. Again in the final against Oliver Kahn's Germany, who lost twice to Ronaldo. The Brazilian finished as top scorer, but had to leave the title of best player to the German keeper. There's no doubt about it, Il Fenomeno is ready to continue blazing a trail in football with all his class and technique. Back in Italy, Ronaldo is no longer interested in Inter. He wants to leave for Madrid and reinforce Florentino Perez's Galacticos. With just a few minutes left in the Mercado, R9 became a merengue. With a 5-star squad featuring legends such as Roberto Carlos, Casillas, and Raul, R9 is aiming to win 2 major titles that are still missing from his trophy cabinet: La Liga and the Champions League. As good as ever technically, he kept scoring more and more goals in La Liga. His successful start in Madrid and above all his memorable World Cup enabled him to lift a second Ballon d'Or, a memorable comeback like we have rarely seen in the history of football. The rest of his Madrid adventure was marked by repeated failures in the European Cup. The reinforcements of David Beckham, Michael Owen, and Robinho do not allow the Merengues to lift the Big Ear Cup again. As the years passed, competition with Van Nistelrooy pushed him to the bench. After just 4 years at the Santiago Bernabéu, the Brazilian star left Spain once again for Italy. In 2007, he returned to Lombardy. Not in the colors of Inter, but in the colors of their rivals, AC Milan. A betrayal in the eyes of Inter fans. Although not as fast as he was in his early days, Ronaldo was still a devilishly effective fox in the box. 7 goals in 14 games. His second season at San Siro was his last in Europe. After suffering a serious injury in February 2008, he returned home to Brazil, leaving behind a career full of magic and regret. For many, it was the end. After a 9-month absence, he announced his return, a comeback that leaves room for the wildest rumors. Approached by PSG and Manchester City, the modest Italian club of Siena offered him €100,000 for each goal he scored. But Ronaldo has only one desire: to finish his career where it all began. An unconditional fan of Flamengo, everyone already pictured him playing on the mythical Maracana pitch. His choice finally turned to Corinthians, where he hung up his boots in 2011. It was a farewell lauded by the footballing world, for even though he played for some of Europe's biggest rivals, Ronaldo Luis Nazario de Lima was still loved by all. Without his repeated physical problems, what would R9's career have been like? No one will know what more he could have achieved to take the crown from King Pelé. A taste of unfinished business that is part of the Ronaldo myth, applauded by 75,000 spectators at Old Trafford after an unforgettable hat-trick in the colors of Real Madrid. Il Fenomeno belongs to the legends of football. These stadium gods who have marked generations, artists of the round ball who will remain forever at the top of the pantheon. Thank you for watching our video. If you liked it, don't hesitate to talk about our channel around you, to like, share, and subscribe. See you soon for a new video. Ciao!